At your lowest weight, usually around 18 months. So Tammy, I'm gonna let Dr. Smith's work keep on.
Tammy Slaton's story has always been one of struggle, survival, and strength. From the moment she first appeared on 1000 Delby Sisters, millions of fans around the world have followed her every step, every triumph, and every heartbreak. But now her journey has taken a dark and terrifying turn, one no one saw coming. After her long-awaited skin removal surgery, what should have been the happiest chapter of her life has become her worst nightmare. Tammy Slaton, the woman who fought her way back from the edge of death, is now facing another life-threatening battle, a devastating cancer diagnosis that has left fans, friends, and even TLC producers in shock. Hello everyone, welcome back to another emotional episode of Reality Weighs In. I'm Jennifer from 90 Day Insider, bringing you the latest updates, drama, and behind-the-scenes stories you don't want to miss. But today's story isn't about ratings or fame, it's about life, faith, and the unbreakable human spirit. Tammy, once known for her fiery attitude and stubborn streak, has become a symbol of courage and redemption. Over the last few years, she has shed more than 500 pounds, conquered food addiction, and found a new sense of hope. Her skin removal surgery was meant to mark her rebirth, a moment to finally live freely in her own body. But instead, what began as a victory has turned into another painful fight for survival. According to those close to the Slaton family, Tammy's recovery initially went well. She followed every medical instruction, stayed positive, and even filmed her progress for the next season of 1000 Delby Sisters. Fans were excited to see her transformation. But within weeks, she began experiencing intense swelling and pain. When standard treatment failed, doctors ordered a biopsy, and the results changed everything. Tammy had developed an aggressive form of skin cancer. Even Tammy struggled to accept the diagnosis. This was supposed to be the time she finally got her life back. She had already survived a medically induced coma, respiratory failure, and years of emotional trauma. Yet now, she faced another cruel twist of fate. TLC insiders revealed that producers had been planning a celebratory storyline showing her transformation and newfound confidence. But when the diagnosis came, production halted immediately. "This isn't a show anymore," one producer said quietly. "It's her life. And right now, that's all that matters." Behind the scenes, grief replaced joy. Tammy's sister Amy was reportedly devastated when she heard the news. According to a close source, she burst into tears and whispered, "I can't lose her, not now." After years of emotional distance, the sisters have drawn close, again united by fear and love. As word spread, fans around the world began posting messages of prayer and hope. Within hours, #PrayForTammy was trending across social media. People shared transformation photos, heartfelt memories, and stories of how Tammy inspired them to change their lives. One fan wrote, "She fought to live, and now cancer is trying to take her. She's more than a reality star, she's a hero." In her hometown of Dixon, Kentucky, over 150 supporters gathered for a candlelight vigil. Neighbors, fans, and friends held candles and prayed for her recovery. Many shared personal stories of how Tammy motivated them to lose weight or seek help for food addiction. One woman tearfully said, "Because of Tammy, I changed my life. Now I'm praying she gets to keep hers." A nurse close to her case said Tammy broke down the moment she heard the word cancer. Through tears, she asked, "Why now? Why me?" But doctors reassured her that early detection gives her a fighting chance. The cancer, identified as squamous cell carcinoma, developed in the area where her excess skin was removed, likely triggered by infection or tissue trauma after surgery. Tammy's treatment plan includes months of chemotherapy and radiation, followed by another surgery to remove nearby lymph nodes. She must also be monitored closely for any signs of spreading to her lungs or liver. Doctors have urged her to rest, avoid stress, and protect her immune system, something that's been a lifelong challenge for her. Friends say she's terrified, but her fighting spirit hasn't faded. She told us, "I've come too far to die now," one close friend shared. That same determination that helped her lose hundreds of pounds and rebuild her life is driving her to keep going. even on her darkest days. TLC has reportedly offered full support covering treatment costs and providing mental health counseling. Filming has been paused indefinitely so Tammy can focus on healing. "The show can wait," said a producer. Her life can't. For now, Tammy spends her days in quiet recovery. She avoids social media but occasionally scrolls through fan comments that lift her spirits. One nurse recalled her smiling after reading a message that said, "You've inspired millions, Tammy. Don't forget, you're stronger than this cancer." Even as her body weakens, Tammy's humor remains intact. Hospital staff say she still cracks jokes and lightens the mood, even during chemo. "That's just Tammy," one nurse said. She'll complain about the hospital food one second, then make everyone laugh the next. She refuses to let cancer steal her spirit. But there are quiet, painful moments too. Some days she's too weak to talk, staring out the window, whispering small prayers. In a private voice note to a friend, she said, "I beat death once. I'll do it again." Amy has now moved closer to care for her sister, cooking healthy meals and helping with daily routines. "It feels like we're kids again," Amy told a friend softly. "Only this time, I'm the one protecting her." Their bond, once fractured by fame and frustration, has never been stronger. Across the country, fans are turning their heartbreak into action. Fundraisers and awareness campaigns have popped up in Tammy's name to support cancer research and body positivity causes. Supporters are using the hashtag #TammyStrong to share their own health journeys inspired by her story. "Tammy may be sick," one fan wrote, "but she's still saving lives." Medical experts familiar with her case say that while squamous cell carcinoma is aggressive, it can be managed with early and consistent treatment. She has a real chance, one doctor noted, especially with her willpower. She's proven she can fight the impossible before. For longtime viewers, Tammy's transformation already felt miraculous. From being bedridden and struggling to breathe to walking again and rediscovering joy, her comeback was nothing short of inspirational. That's why this new fight feels so unfair. But if anyone can beat the odds again, it's her. Her close circle describes her mindset as strong and realistic. "She knows this will be hard," said one insider, "but she's not ready to give up. She still wants to live, to love, to keep inspiring people." Though TLC hasn't issued an official statement, internal sources confirm the network has tightened confidentiality around footage and health updates. Still, a few unseen clips have reportedly leaked showing Tammy shortly after surgery. Weak and whispering, "Something's wrong. It's not healing right." Viewers who've seen it describe the footage as heartbreaking. But despite the silence from TLC, the message from fans remains loud and clear. Tammy isn't alone. Thousands of people are praying for her every day, sharing encouragement and stories of how she gave them courage to face their own battles. Tammy's story has also started important conversations about the physical and emotional realities of massive weight loss. Experts have praised her openness, saying her journey sheds light on the long-term struggles that reality TV rarely shows, the complications, the depression, and the constant fight to maintain progress. Visitors describe her hospital room as warm and comforting, filled with cards, photos, and glowing candles from supporters. She listens to gospel music and sometimes watches old 1002 LB Sisters episodes, laughing at moments she shared with Amy. Even in pain, she finds comfort in remembering how far she's come. A friend revealed that Tammy believes God gave her a second chance once and will do it again. Her faith, combined with the love surrounding her, has become her greatest weapon in this battle. Doctors say her body is responding positively to early treatment, though the process is exhausting. She continues to face fatigue, nausea, and pain, but she keeps fighting. Every day she endures another round of treatment is another victory. The world watches with bated breath as Tammy faces her toughest challenge yet. The cameras are off, the headlines have faded, and what remains is a woman who refuses to surrender. The same woman who once said, "I want to live so bad," is now proving those words with every breath. So tonight, wherever you are, take a moment to send your thoughts and prayers to Tammy Slaton. Because if her story has taught us anything, it's that even in our darkest moments, hope can still shine. Tammy's light hasn't gone out, tits still burning bright, fierce, and unbreakable. This is Jennifer from 90 Day Insider, and you've been watching Reality Weighs In. Thank you for joining me today. Stay strong, stay kind, and never stop believing in the power of hope. Until next time, keep Tammy in your prayers.
I was skeptical.
Come on.
Tammy Slaton's story has always been one of pain, survival, and rebirth. From her first moment on 1000 Delby Sisters, viewers were drawn to her, some out of curiosity, others out of compassion, but everyone could sense that behind the sarcasm and attitude was a woman fighting for her life. Over the years, fans watched Tammy fall, rise, and fall again, until her long-awaited transformation finally gave them hope that she had found her second chance. But now that hope has been shaken again. After her long-dreamed-of skin removal surgery, what should have marked her rebirth has become her darkest chapter yet. Tammy Slaton, the woman who once came back from the edge of death, is now facing a terrifying new enemy, an aggressive cancer diagnosis that has left her family, fans, and even TLC producers in disbelief. Hello everyone, and welcome back to another emotional story on Reality Weighs In. I'm Jennifer from 90 Day Insider, and tonight we're diving into the heartbreaking twist that turned Tammy's triumph into tragedy. After years of battling food addiction, losing over 500 pounds, and learning to walk and breathe again, Tammy finally qualified for surgery to remove the painful excess skin that had caused infections for years. It was meant to be her victory lap. But just weeks after the operation, her recovery took a frightening turn. What began as swelling soon became unbearable pain. Antibiotics failed. Tests were ordered, and when the biopsy results came back, everything stopped. Tammy Slaton had cancer. The diagnosis hit like a thunderclap. For a woman who had survived a coma, respiratory failure, and countless setbacks, hearing that word cancer felt almost cruel. According to insiders, Tammy sat in stunned silence before whispering, "Why now? Why me? After everything I went through, why this?" Doctors told her it was squamous cell carcinoma, a fast-spreading form of skin cancer near the site of her surgery, likely caused by scar tissue trauma. Her team moved fast: chemotherapy, radiation, and endless monitoring for possible spread. She was told she'd have to fight as hard as she ever had before. At first, filming for 1000 Delby Sisters quietly continued. Producers planned to document her recovery as the final step of her transformation. But as soon as the diagnosis came in, cameras shut down. "This isn't TV anymore," one producer said softly. "This is real life." TLC offered full support medical funding, counseling, and privacy, while the crew reportedly broke down in tears. Behind closed doors, the Slaton family pulled together like never before. Amy collapsed when she heard the news, crying, "I can't lose her, not now." Chris Combs, Amanda, and Misty all rushed to be by Tammy's side. Whatever tension had existed before disappeared. Filming schedules and social media drama no longer mattered. Family did. Word spread quickly online. Within hours, #PrayForTammy began trending. Fans from around the world shared photos and prayers. One wrote, "She fought to live, and now she's fighting again. Don't give up, Tammy." Another said, "You gave us strength now. We're sending it back to you." In her hometown of Dixon, Kentucky, supporters gathered for a candlelight vigil. More than 150 people came: neighbors, fans, even strangers who felt connected to her. They held candles, sang hymns, and prayed. One woman said through tears, "Because of Tammy, I changed my life. Now it's time we help her fight for hers." A nurse later recalled the moment Tammy received the results. "She just kept saying, 'I finally started to love myself. I don't want to die.'" Those words broke everyone. But amid the fear, there was also determination, the same will that had carried her through before. "I beat death once," she told her doctor. "I'll do it again." As treatments began, TLC halted production entirely. Insiders confirmed the network's priority had shifted from ratings to recovery. Still, some fans questioned whether TLC had done enough in the past. "They showed her pain for years," one viral post said. Now, they need to show her compassion. That debate only grew louder. Some longtime viewers believe the show exploited Tammy's suffering, turning trauma into entertainment. Others argue that without the cameras, Tammy might never have found the motivation to change. The truth likely lies somewhere in between. Sources say TLC is now providing full medical assistance, therapy, and transport for her treatments. Behind the scenes, producers are checking in daily, even offering to pause filming indefinitely. One insider shared, "We've all cried for her." The show can wait, Tammy can't. Meanwhile, her family has reunited completely. Amy moved closer to help with cooking and emotional care. Chris and Misty take turns driving her to chemo. Even estranged relatives have reached out. "They realized how short life is," said one close friend. Tammy's diagnosis reminded them what really matters. Online, her fans have become a second family. Facebook groups, Reddit threads, and TikTok edits overflow with love. A GoFundMe started quietly by a cousin has raised over $200,000 for medical bills. Tammy reportedly insisted that any leftover funds go to cancer and obesity research charities. Even now, she's thinking of others. Doctors remain cautious but hopeful. Her early response to treatment has been better than expected, though the road ahead is long. Through it all, Tammy's fiery humor still shines. Nurses say she jokes about hospital food, calling herself the chemo queen, and comforts other patients when they cry. "That's just Tammy," one nurse said. Even scared, she makes everyone else laugh. Yet there are darker moments too. Late at night, when the pain is unbearable, Tammy turns quiet, whispering prayers or staring out the window at the stars. She's told friends she misses Caleb, her late husband, who passed away in 2023 from obesity-related complications. Their brief marriage began in a rehab clinic and ended far too soon. "Sometimes I feel him with me," she said recently, "like he's telling me to keep going." And she has kept going. Even as the cameras stay off, fans follow every update. But not everyone sees her as a hero. As her illness made headlines, old discussions resurfaced. Some viewers reminded others that for years, Tammy could be harsh, especially to Amy, who cared for her at her heaviest. Fans recalled the shouting, the manipulation, the entitlement. She even called herself Queen Tammy, half-jokingly, because of how she demanded control. Amy endured the worst of it, doing Tammy's shopping, cleaning, and cooking while being yelled at. Many felt Tammy's transformation shouldn't erase that history. Redemption is beautiful. One Reddit post read, "But accountability matters too." Still, Season 7 showed a new side of Tammy, a softer, more grateful woman. Viewers watched her defy the odds, undergo surgery, and become an advocate for weight loss awareness and self-love. Her openness about her pansexual identity and her relationship with Andrea Dalton made her seem more vulnerable and relatable than ever. For the first time, Tammy looked genuinely happy. But some critics felt the show leaned too far into sympathy, brushing aside her past behavior to craft a cleaner story. "They turned her into a saint," one reviewer wrote. "But she's still human with flaws and pride. And maybe that's the truth." Tammy's journey has been messy, marked by anger, addiction, and pain, but also growth, love, and redemption. Her critics aren't wrong, but neither are her supporters. The reality lies somewhere between the redemption arc and the red flag reality. Even now, as she fights for her life, Tammy's story forces viewers to ask difficult questions about reality television. Do these shows truly help, or do they exploit? Did fame save her or destroy her? Despite everything, Tammy remains a symbol of survival. She's not perfect, but she's real. And that authenticity, raw, flawed, unfiltered, is why millions still watch, hoping and praying for her. Whether you see her as a hero or a cautionary tale, Tammy Slaton has changed the way people think about addiction, recovery, and transformation. As chemotherapy continues, her family remains her lifeline. Amy recently wrote privately, "We've been through hell and back, but she's still my sister. I'll never stop fighting for her." The love around Tammy is overwhelming. Churches hold prayer chains, fans create tribute videos, and even former critics send kind words. "I didn't always like Tammy," one fan admitted, "but I respect her now. She's fighting like a warrior, Whatever happens next, one thing is certain: Tammy Slaton's story isn't over. Whether the cameras ever roll again or not, her journey continues to inspire. She's taught millions that healing isn't a straight line, that self-love can come late, and that redemption doesn't mean perfection. It means perseverance. Tonight, as fans light candles and share memories online, Tammy rests in a quiet hospital room surrounded by family, photos, and hope. The same woman who once said, "I want to live so bad," is once again proving she meant every word. This is Jennifer from 90 Day Insider, and you've been watching Reality Weighs In. Thank you for joining me in this emotional story. Remember, real life doesn't always have perfect endings, but it always has hope. Keep Tammy in your thoughts, and as she faces the hardest fight of her life, may she find the strength that once inspired us all. She find the strength that once
Gross.
Camel bit out of her.
What is that laying beside it?
That's a piece.
Tammy Slaton's story has always been one of extremes, from her darkest lows to her highest triumphs. But behind the transformation and the public praise, there's another side to Tammy that longtime viewers can't forget, a side defined by anger, control, and years of emotional struggle that may still be haunting her today. Tammy has come a long way since the early seasons of 1000 Delby Sisters, but her journey hasn't erased her past behavior. In the beginning, Tammy was remarkably mean to her sister Amy, despite how much Amy helped her. She wanted things done on her schedule, in her way, and often threw fits when her requests weren't fulfilled quickly enough. Tammy used strong language, emotional intimidation, and anger to control those around her, even when she was unable to take care of herself. Queen Tammy, as her family jokingly called her, had a temper that defined much of her personality. But by season 7, that temper seemed to disappear. The show's edit painted her as calm, humble, and reformed, the hero of her own story. Fans were happy to see her change, but others couldn't help noticing how different she seemed. Many believe the new version of Tammy on screen wasn't the full picture, that some of her old red flags were simply hidden behind a more sympathetic hero edit. It's true that Tammy has improved her attitude since she lost the weight and gained her health back. But her past patterns, her temper, her impatience, and her demanding nature haven't fully vanished. And some behavior suggests she may still be avoiding true personal growth. One major example is her refusal to drive. When Tammy was at her heaviest, driving wasn't possible. But now that she's reached her goal weight and regained mobility, fans and even her family believe she should be taking that step toward independence. She's tried before even sitting behind the wheel of a tractor, but quickly gave up, saying she was scared, because Tammy still doesn't drive. Much of the responsibility for her transportation falls on her brother, Chris. Chris has a full-time job and a family of his own, but he often drops everything to help Tammy, taking her to appointments, errands, and family events. Many believe that now that she's physically able, Tammy should be stepping up. Continuing to rely on her family for things she can do herself only makes life harder for everyone, and it undermines the idea of her being a changed woman. Tammy's family, Amy, Chris, Amanda, and Misty, have always gone above and beyond for her. Despite their frequent arguments, they consistently show up for her whenever she needs support. But it often feels one-sided. Tammy takes advantage of their love and generosity, leaning heavily on them without giving much back. They love her deeply, but love doesn't erase exhaustion. Earlier seasons of 1000 Delby Sisters highlighted this clearly: Tammy's bad temper, her selfish demands, her lack of accountability. But in season 7, viewers noticed a dramatic shift in how she was portrayed. The editing was softer. The tone was uplifting. It was almost as if the Tammy everyone once knew had been rewritten. While she's earned credit for her weight loss and physical recovery, the deeper emotional work still seems unfinished. There's no denying Tammy's weight loss transformation is extraordinary. After years of fighting addiction, health issues, and near-death experiences, she finally reached the goals she dreamed of. But while her physical journey has been inspiring, her mental and emotional growth hasn't kept the same pace. Throughout the series, Tammy's mental health has always been a fragile subject. She's spoken openly about depression and self-loathing, but often shuts down when deeper emotional issues come up. Even now, it feels like she's focusing on the numbers, her weight, her diet, her milestones, rather than the emotional healing that must come alongside it. During season 6, much of the focus was on her surgery, her recovery, and the heartbreak of losing her husband, Caleb Willingham. Those moments were raw and painful, but they also revealed something deeper, that Tammy still struggles to confront her emotional wounds. She's been through unimaginable trauma, yet she rarely talks about the anger, guilt, or grief that still follow her. Fans have noticed this too. While it's clear she's proud of how far she's come physically, there's an underlying sense that Tammy is still holding on to resentment and unprocessed pain. She's built up years of frustration from feeling trapped by her weight, judged by others, and pitied by viewers. Even with her progress, those emotions don't disappear overnight. Tammy's transformation has been remarkable, but the red flags haven't fully gone away. They've just become more subtle. She's less explosive now, but the same defensive and controlling behaviors still surface in small ways. Her reluctance to try new things, her avoidance of responsibility, and her quick frustration when things don't go her way all point to emotional work left undone. Some of Tammy's issues come from years of feeling powerless. For most of her life, her weight made her dependent on others. She couldn't do basic things like walk, shop, or cook without help. That dependency became part of her identity, and breaking free from it is harder than just losing weight. Even now, she seems unsure how to live independently. Tammy has often been her own worst enemy. Her self-sabotage isn't about laziness, it's about fear. Fear of failure. Fear of being alone. Fear of not knowing who she is without the weight and the drama. She's worked hard to change her body, but she hasn't yet fully changed her mindset. On 1000 Delby Sisters, Tammy's therapy sessions have shown glimpses of vulnerability. She admits her struggles, but often pulls back before going too deep. Fans have wondered whether the therapists shown on the show truly help her, or if she's seeing others privately off camera. Either way, the emotional breakthroughs she needs still seem far away. The truth is, Tammy's mental health recovery has lagged behind her physical one. She often acts as if the weight loss itself was the ultimate solution, that reaching her goal would fix everything. But as anyone who's been through transformation knows, the inner work doesn't end when the scale changes. Before her weight loss surgery, Tammy had to pass mental health evaluations, which suggested she understood the emotional side of her struggle. But the same behaviors that caused her problems before, impatience, entitlement, and avoidance, still appear from time to time. It's not that she hasn't grown. It's that real change takes more than weight loss. It takes honesty, humility, and continued effort. Tammy has been through a lifetime of battles, physical, emotional, and spiritual. She deserves compassion. But part of that compassion also involves truth. She still has work to do. Her story can only truly evolve when she learns to face herself without excuses. For now, it seems Tammy believes her transformation is complete, that she's conquered the hardest part. But the hardest part may still be ahead. She's entering